Using the passive voice in English is an important skill that can make your writing and speaking more flexible and precise. In the passive voice, the subject of the sentence receives the action rather than performing it. For example, instead of saying, "The chef cooked the meal," which is active, you would say, "The meal was cooked by the chef," which is passive. The passive voice allows you to emphasize the action itself or the object affected by the action, rather than focusing on who is performing it. This can be particularly useful in academic writing, formal reports, or situations where the doer of the action is unknown, unimportant, or obvious. One of the main advantages of the passive voice is that it allows writers to shift attention from the person performing the action to the action or result itself. For instance, in scientific writing, instead of saying, "Scientists conducted the experiment," you might write, "The experiment was conducted," because the focus is on the process and results, not the scientists. Similarly, in news reports, the passive voice can be used to avoid naming someone directly, as in, "The city was evacuated after the storm." This shifts the focus to what happened rather than who carried it out, which can be more appropriate or neutral depending on the context. Another benefit of the passive voice is that it can make sentences more formal and objective. This is why it is widely used in academic essays, research papers, and professional documents. It creates a tone of impartiality and professionalism, which is often desired in these contexts. In addition, the passive voice can be helpful when the subject is unknown or irrelevant. For example, if you say, "The window was broken," you don't need to specify who broke it if that information is unnecessary or unavailable. This can make your writing concise and focused on the important details. To use the passive voice effectively, start by identifying the object of the active sentence and make it the subject of the passive sentence. Then, use the correct form of the verb to be plus the past participle of the main verb. For example, "The teacher explained the lesson" becomes "The lesson was explained by the teacher." You can also omit the doer if it is not important. "The lesson was explained." Practice is key. Look for opportunities to rewrite active sentences in the passive voice, and pay attention to how native speakers use it in articles, books, or formal speeches. In conclusion, the passive voice is a valuable tool in English that allows you to emphasize actions, create formal and objective statements, and focus on the results rather than the doer. While the active voice is more direct and lively, the passive voice has its own strengths, especially in academic, professional, or formal contexts. By practicing and understanding when to use it appropriately, you can enhance your writing and speaking, making your English communication more versatile and precise.